And here's what's fun. By the way, you're looking at the forks, if you will, in the hands of Chris Menzer, who you know is part of the Rastelli's team. But the reason he's using plastic forks is to demonstrate just how tender these meatballs are. These are from Rastelli's, and you are getting 5 pounds of, wait for it, hand-rolled, slow-cooked in a homemade family recipe from Ray's mom, marinara sauce. These are fully cooked, and you're getting, again, 5 pounds. It's beef, it's veal, it's pork, and there's a reason for all of those things, and that's also the reason that you can use a plastic fork and not break a tine at all, because those meatballs are just tender and moist.
They are absolutely melt in your mouth tender.
Oh.
I mean, and if you haven't had a real Italian meatball, and if you had those meatballs that have been really tough and hard,
yeah,
you didn't have that beef, pork, and veal blend.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you as well.
Here's what I want to do really quickly. I want to show everybody what you're getting, because it's 5 pounds. And so they'll come in individual 1-pound bags, so you can portion as you'd like. But 5 pounds is what you're seeing here. So your meatballs are ready to enjoy however you'd like, whether you're making meatball sandwiches, whether you're putting it over your favorite pasta. And they're fully cooked. We're going to talk about how you heat them to prepare. But you're getting 5 pounds with a sale price, $79.98. It's a $20 easy pay. All of your gourmet food is going to ship for free. So, Chris, talk to me about this family recipe and these meatballs made from pork, veal, and beef.
It's been a family recipe for 4 generations in Ray's family. It comes from Ray's mom, who was making these in the butcher shop, literally hand rolling these. Every single meatball is hand rolled, and it's actually put into the oven, and it's cooked individually, just by, just the old-fashioned way, by hand. Ray's dad would actually make the mix. He would grind the meat, which I'm going to show you.
Okay.
He would grind it. His Ray's mom would actually mix all the seasonings, which is that basil, the onion, all those seasonings that you expect to find in a great meatball.
Yeah.
And one secret ingredient that makes them extra special, which I'll show you on the table too.
Okay.
But what you get from that is you get these beautifully soft.
Can I take just a little bite? Because I'll tell you, just even watching you kind of take the fork to it, it's the first thing I noticed for anybody who's ever had maybe a dry, kind of fall apart meatball.
Delicious.
I was talking about my great-grandmother. I mean, talk about, oh my goodness, an authentic experience, right?
It is, and there's two reasons. One is because of the meatball. It's the pork, beef, and veal that we use, and I'll show you that.
Okay.
But it's also the gravy too, right? Because the gravy is actually San Marzano tomatoes imported from Italy. I'm gonna let you taste this too. You can blow on that though.
All right.
But it's San Marzano tomatoes imported from Italy.
Really?
They're slow cooked for 6 to 8 hours. The gravy alone.
Oh,
so the
wow.
gravy is going to be cooked for 6 to 8 hours, right? And it's going to have that basil, that onion, that oregano, all those spices, and then it actually has carrot that we put in for the sweetness.
That is so good.
So there's actually 2 things going on here. There's the authentic meatball, but there's that authentic San Marzano slow cooked gravy that actually these meatballs then get cooked in. After we cook the meatballs, it goes into the gravy for another 3 to 4 hours.
I mean, look at that. And look at the size of those meatballs as well. You're getting 5 pounds. All right, so talk to me about the combination of meat that we have, and then you said that secret ingredient.
Right, so here's what we do. Look, this is black Angus, right? This is the black Angus chuck. This is the beautiful pork butts that we use. And then we use that veal, right?
Okay.
So this is for the beef is for that beautiful texture. That pork is for the absolute incredible flavor. But that veal gives it the tenderness that makes it so tender, right? But here's our secret ingredient. What we do is we take Italian bread, right? Ray's mom takes this Italian bread and she soaks it in water.
Really?
And then she breaks it apart by hand, right? In the recipe, by hand, we break this and we put it into that mix. And what it does is that when you do soaked bread instead of breadcrumb, soaked bread puffs. Okay, when it cooks. So the bread will actually puff in the meatball and it makes them tender. Where breadcrumbs, where people always put breadcrumbs sucks up the moisture and it makes them really, really dense. So if you ever have a meatball at home that's really dense, most likely it's all beef and it's probably not black Angus. and it's probably made with breadcrumbs, so you're not getting that experience.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that has to be one of the most tender meatballs I've ever eaten. And it's interesting because when you talk about what's in there, and I would imagine it's the right ratio of the beef to the pork to the veal, so that what you get is, as you said, you get that flavor, you get tenderness, and then adding that secret ingredient.
Yeah.
And it's something only your mom would know in her recipe,
and
right?
we do. We use 50% beef for the texture. We use 30% of that pork for the flavor, and we use 20% of the veal for the tenderness.
Wow.
Right? Then it gets all slow cooked together. And this is what it...
Hi!
We have a friend.
Hello!
How are
How's
you?
everybody
Do you like
doing?
a good meatball?
I love a good meatball, and
Here,
they're
look
hard
at-
to make. You know what
They
I mean?
are
So I
hard to
never really
make.
make them.
Really?
So here's the thing, you're gonna get it just like this at home. You're gonna get these 6 meatballs with the gravy already done. And what I love about it is that this will be frozen. You're gonna take it out. You can take it out the night before.
Okay.
You can throw them in a, you can throw all of them or just one of them in a saucepan. They will take 5 minutes. They're fully cooked. How about a microwave? How about you're in a real pinch? Poke a little hole in it in the microwave for 2 to 3 minutes. Done that way as well. Or you can take the whole package in boiling water.
Really?
And put it right in boiling.
delicious.
Don't put a hole in it, but you can put it right in boiling water
And just
and it will cook in
cook
5
it
minutes
kind of
because they're fully cooked.
From frozen?
Isn't it
From
tender,
frozen
though?
and or thawed.
Did you find that it's like
Tender,
moist?
flavorful, like you taste all the spices in there, which I appreciate because I cannot stand like a dry meatball. Remember a dry?
I know. And look
really
at some of the
juicy.
recipes. I mean, because that's the thing too, Chris, that we can, whether you're making a weeknight dinner and you want to
Right.
put it over pasta, whether you want to do a meatball sandwich, meatball sub if you'd like, you can slice these up and just individual. You can make them little hors d'oeuvres if you're having people over. And I love that you called. What did you call it? The gravy?
The gravy.
Oh,
now listen,
not
if
sauce.
you're
I know.
Italian, if you're Italian,
It's
it's gravy.
Gravy.
Whatever you like, whatever you
Okay.
want to call it, you're okay. But what you do need to know, it is literally cooked for 6 to 8 hours. If you were gonna, you just mentioned it takes so long to make this.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make this home, you're gonna have to get all those ingredients, make the meatballs. You're gonna have to cook them. You're gonna have to make the gravy. You're gonna cook it for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna add the meatballs for another 2 to 3 hours. Slow cook that to perfection, and all that time, it takes time.
It's
You're
done
getting
for you.
this like this. You're having dinner
Yeah.
In a few
5
minutes.
minutes.
Yes.
Are
Well,
you coming?
I am.
We
I'm
served
going
you
on
dinner.
QVC
Are you
too.
going on QVC?
I am. I know. I wish I could stay for dinner, but I have 3 hours of clearance jewelry on QVC too. So I'm going to take my little meatball. It's going to be my little pre-show snack. Thank you all so much.
Thank
Here
you.
with you. Listen, you can continue to place your order for the Rastelli beef, veal, and pork meatballs. You're getting 5 of them in the gravy.
There's actually 6 in the gravy.
6
There's
meatballs
6
in each
meatball
pack.
each pack.
Yeah,
30
5
meatballs.
1
Oh, 5 1 out. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Pardon me, 1 pound packages.
Yep.
You're getting 5 total pounds. In 94872, that'll be the item number. And they are big meatballs, so 6 in each of my 1 pound packages.
They're so soft and delicious.